The dead man, The Undertaker, has only rest in peace twice during his career at WrestleMania by the hands of Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. But The Undertaker thinks a different man altogether should have been the one to end the streak, and that is the late Bray Wyatt. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Undertaker was on his Q&A Patreon website answering questions, and a very specific question came up about WrestleMania, The Undertaker's undefeated streak, and who, out of Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt, The Undertaker wanted to have ended the streak. And by the way, you can subscribe to Taker's Patreon, but I think it's like $10 on his Patreon. I believe you get like a Q&A and then like a podcast every week. Seems a bit steep from Taker. I mean, yeah, you could have like a premium option, but pretty much all the other wrestlers give away their podcast for free. But what I will say is Taker isn't every other wrestler, so he's probably earned the right to charge for his podcast. And to be honest, a lot of people probably pay for his podcast because he is The Undertaker and he's got a lot of stories worth telling. But anyway, just wanted to point out there, if you want to subscribe and hear Taker's podcast, then you can get it on his Patreon account. But this is what Brock Lesnar said about the streak and the fact that he believes it should have been Bray Wyatt to be the one who ended it. Taker says, quote, "The most logical person to break it would have been Bray Wyatt. Probably of the three, it would have meant more to his career than even Roman's. For Roman, it would have been a very special moment, but for Bray, there were so many comparisons between the two characters and the darkness and the different things. For him to be able to have broke it, it would have been such a feather in his cap and something that could probably have extended the character of The Undertaker in a different capacity. You know, I mean, Bray would have been the in-ring aspect of it, but I think that those characters would have somehow merged together in some kind of higher power type deal. But I think of all the people that it would have helped the most, I think Bray Wyatt would have been the guy. He's the only one." End of quote. So, Undertaker believing that Bray Wyatt would have been a good choice to defeat the streak and end Undertaker's WrestleMania run. I think out of those three, I actually agree. Now, did Brock and Roman Reigns really need to end the streak? Probably not. Well, technically Roman didn't end it, only Brock ended it. But when Brock ended it, you can't deny it did help Brock Lesnar's career. However, I don't think Brock Lesnar needed it. I think you could have got the Brock Lesnar into that level of dominance without him ending the streak. It almost seemed like it was a lazy way to try and repackage Lesnar because they had him lose to Cena a couple of times. They had him lose to Triple H a couple of times. And it was almost like, well, here, we need to get Brock Lesnar back on top. And what better way to do it than have him beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania? So I do think it helped Brock Lesnar, but I don't think Brock Lesnar needed it. As for Roman Reigns, this guy's been pushed as the top man in WWE for the last decade, and it didn't really help Roman Reigns at all. In fact, he got booed at the fucking building the night after. So I don't think Roman Reigns needed it. I agree that Bray Wyatt, out of these three, would have been the best option. But there's also some other wrestlers I think should have ended it. From a, selfish note, I would have probably liked Shawn Michaels to do it, because that means his career would have lasted longer, technically, because he wouldn't have lost that retirement match. Well, technically it was a retirement match for Michaels. It was streak versus career. Another option I think would have been pretty good would have been Randy Orton. Back in 2005, WrestleMania 21, he was rolling with the legend killer gimmick, and I mean, there's not much bigger killing of legends than defeating Undertaker at WrestleMania, so that would have been a good win. But again, I would say that Undertaker's streak at that point probably didn't feel as important as it did at later WrestleMania. So yeah, Orton could have defeated it, but back then it didn't feel like it was a huge deal. And another guy that I always throw out for defeating the streak, I think, would be Kane. Just for the pure fact that Kane is The Undertaker's brother. He'd already lost to him twice at WrestleMania. Maybe they could have done a third match, or maybe they could have just had Kane beat him in the first one. Who knows? But I think the fact that Kane and Undertaker are brothers, and Kane pretty much has the same moveset, he has the same powers as The Undertaker, it would have been a good option to defeat the streak. But yeah, don't think Brock needed it. Don't think Roman Reigns needed it. But with Brock, it's like, right, well, he's the big star, he's the main man, so he's going to do it. And then with Roman Reigns, it just felt like a a cheap way of trying to get the fans to get maybe on Roman's side, try and give Roman an extra push. But I mean, at that point, it didn't care. It didn't matter what they were doing with Roman. Just nobody liked him, and rightfully so, because the guy is so fucking overrated. I hate now that we have to pretend that Roman Reigns is great because he turned heel and that he's had this title for 4 years. Remember, we used to hate Roman Reigns back in the day. We all thought he sucked, and the truth is, he still sucks to this day. Anyway, guys, that's it. Undertaker would have picked Bray Wyatt, and I think that'd be a good choice. Let me know who you think would be a good choice down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.